What's up, hockey fans and hockey fanatics out there? Welcome to the Hockey Lounge, episode 26, for our daily wrap-up of the NHL, the National Hockey League. Apple is in the lounge. How was your weekend, bud?
Good, very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Nice and relaxing. Played around the golf, all good.
Oh, nice. What did you shoot there, bud?
No, don't ask those questions.
Come on.
No.
What did you shoot for the weekend? Come on.
Honestly, buck 20. I'm not gonna lie.
That's
played Silver Lakes hardcore, bro. They wouldn't let me use my hockey stick. That was the problem.
Awesome. Yeah, I was at the rink all weekend, had some fun with that, and watched a lot of hockey. So it was a good weekend for hockey for sure. Not a lot of signings in the National Hockey League over the weekend. There was a few, but let's first off talk about today and what happened in the National Hockey League. So first signing of the day was an extension. up-Saros, Preds, 4-year extension, $5 million per year, 20 big ones for UC. Up.
I think it was a good signing. He's their number one goalie, so $5 million a year for your number one goalie is not too much to put into it. It's a pretty steady performer. The Predators are one of those teams that look like they're flatlining, but they kept them in-house. They did their homework. $5 million a year. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, you know what? Looking at what he did last year, 36 games played, 21 wins, 11 losses, 2.28 goals against average with a .927 save percentage. Pretty decent numbers across the board there. The one thing I've noticed though with Saros is that he's a smaller tender, and he's sort of like that hybrid goalie, which nowadays you don't see those smaller tenders. You see the guys that are 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", even 6'5". That Darling guy back in the day there with the Hawks a couple of years ago, 6'7". So these goalies are big. So he's a little different built than the rest. We'll see what type of lifespan he has if he can play those 60, 70 games up. It's interesting. We talked about Nashville a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah. I think in the next few years, by the time that contract's over, I don't think they're on a team on the ascent. I think they're on the descent.
Right, and we talked about it for sure. So interesting, like you said, $5 million for a starting goalie, not a bad price tag for your starter. Next one was Kevin Fiala of the Minnesota Wild. We were talking about this offline, avoided arbitration, signed a 1-year deal, 5.1 per. I really like Kevin Fiala. I think he's a really, really good player. He can do all the little things right, skates hard, first the body, puts the puck in the net, skates hard, good player.
Absolutely. And I think he's betting on himself. He from what I understand, he chose the 1-year deal. So he will be restricted again next year.
Wow.
So he can go to arbitration next year again. So yeah, I guess the 5.1 mil, he's gambling on himself. If he has a fantastic year, he might get a raise on top of that as well.
Yeah, interesting because again, like you said, he's betting on himself. If you look at last year's stats with Fiala, he played 50 games out of the 56. He scored 20 goals, 20 assists. Talking about a guy that is even Stevens. He was a -2 for the year. Slowed down though in the playoffs. 7 games played. They went to that 7 games series against Vegas, Minnesota. Nobody projected that. He had 1 goal, 1 assist, and was a +2. So playoffs numbers.
Yeah, but I think they're just trying to look for that speed, that complement for Kaprizov.
Yeah,
we'll give him the mulligan on the 1 playoff year, and the Vegas Knights are a difficult team to play against as well. So
yeah, you're being generous. Big Lou is not around today, man. Holy smokes, he's being generous today. No, but I like Fiala. I think again he's a gamer. And I see the Minnesota Wild being that team on the rise, as per we just talked about the Predators being the team on the decline. So I think it's a good signing. And if I was Fiala, I would bet on myself too, to be honest with you, to make those big bucks. So
yeah, remember we also talked about how when with the free agency that they let Suter and Parise go and they're going to have so much space. So these 1-year deals actually help them as well to try to buy them some time before all that stuff comes off. So I think it works for both sides.
For sure. And then we have Alex Nylander. Interesting. Again, did not play a game in the National Hockey League last year. He signed a 1-year contract for $847,000. Interesting player. You know, he was highly drafted with the Buffalo Sabres, moved to the Chicago Blackhawks, and still we haven't seen the progress with Alex. What are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I agree with you. He would have expected more by now. Like, I mean, he was playing minutes in Buffalo when he got there because, like you said, he was a high pick. He was highly touted. He went to, playing on a shit team like Buffalo. He was getting his minutes, and then he went to Chicago, which is basically another shit team, and didn't even make the big club last year. So he's got to show. I think that's why it's a 1-year deal. I think Chicago's going to wash their hands from him if he doesn't do anything this year.
Yeah,
and his career could be over if he doesn't have a good year this year.
Does the shit besides Chicago come off this year because of the moves?
Yes,
we can
take
a
better team.
Okay, all right.
But remember, they've improved the net immensely with
Right.
Fleury. They've improved on the back end with Jones.
Right.
So there's still room for him. It's not like they loaded up on forwards where there's no room for him to play.
And the interesting thing too is like they're dangling Dylan Strome out there too, right? So, you know, they're going with the youth movement, and they're sort of not. And I like what the Hawks have done. We talked about it before. Now, can Nylander slide in there and fit in with this club? It's going to be interesting to see if he does get playing time this year with the 82 games. Over the weekend, we saw a few other signings. Nothing that big. There was also one other signing today. Sorry. William Eklund of the San Jose Sharks signed his entry-level deal. He was picked 7th overall in this year's draft. Again, entry-level deal. Getting the signings done fast. Some of these teams are doing. We saw Anaheim do that last week. And then yesterday with the Winnipeg Jets app, Dmitry Kuzmin. This is interesting, though. Entry-level contract from this year's draft. He was drafted 3rd round, 82nd overall. So they locked him up very quick. So they must see something in him that they want to get him either to the A or maybe a shot at playing with the Jets.
Yeah, I agree with you. For them to move that quick on a 3rd rounder, for sure, they must see something they really like.
Right, and he's probably signing a nice bonus, so he's buying a nice car.
Yeah,
I believe from Russia, so those Ruskies like to buy the cars quick, with a couple of ladies with them probably as well. Adam Ernie, I like this player. I think he's a good role player. He signed again with the Detroit Red Wings, 2 years at 2.1. One of those depth guys that you need. He can skate, he can grind it out. So yeah. He's definitely a good player to sign.
Oh yeah, I remember when he played in Tampa. He was on Yanni Gord's line. They played great together. Yeah, he's a great role player, 3rd or 4th line guy. I think in Detroit, that was a very good signing. 2.2 mil, 2.1 mil, bargain.
For sure. And Stevie Y is starting to create that that team that he wanted, just like he did with Tampa. And he was at it again on Saturday when they signed their draft goalie Sebastian Casa to an entry-level 15th overall pick for a goalie, get him locked up, get him to play against some pros in terms of maybe AHL or whatnot, but get him some pro pucks and see where he goes from there. And then an interesting player was signed by Vancouver. He was traded to Dallas, Jason Dickerson, for 3 years, 2.65 a year. I like this kid. A lot of upside. I don't watch a lot of Dallas Stars games, but I really like the way he can go up and down the lineup. Special teams player as well.
Yeah, he's been a plus player for most of his career. Like was a -2 this past season, but he's not going to light it up with points, with goals or assists. But he's a steady 3rd line centerman. I think it was a good signing from them by Vancouver as well.
Yeah, I believe he's 26 years old. I think he is 26 years old. So a lot of hockey left in Jason Dickerson.
6'2", 200 pounds. He's not a small boy either.
Exactly, right? And the Dallas games that I've watched, he can PK, he can play on the power play. I think it's a really, really good signing for the Vancouver Canucks. They're a team up like the Canucks, and we'll get into we're going to break down each division. Last week we broke down the Metropolitan with Nick from Hockey Hotbed. This week we're going to be breaking down the Central Division for the viewers. We'll be doing that Wednesday night at 9 p.m. live. Stay tuned for that. But in terms of the Vancouver Canucks, we don't know exactly what's happening there. Elias Pettersson came out with a few comments last week about wanting to play for a winning team, a winning organization. So just really, really different. Before we get to the last one, we went, we had our show, our daily wrap up on Friday, and this broke later in the night, around 8:00. And the Leafs slid this in there like a dirty shirt, right? So they got into a club without showing ID on Friday night for sure with this one. Austin Matthews, Toronto Maple Leafs, wrist surgery, out 6 weeks. Probably, Elliot Friedman was reporting, probably the start of training camp. Maybe not. I find this really weird, App. He was dealing with this wrist stuff throughout the season. Playoffs, there was talk of it. Then he's traveling to UFC fights. He's doing all this stuff. And why wouldn't he get this rectified right away after the season so he would be ready to do some off-season training and be ready for the opening of training camp?
I agree 100% with you. Like the fact that they waited this long, and even him himself, like, did you do nothing? If it was that bad, you did nothing all summer until right now, until this past week or 2 weeks to start whatever, stick handling, shooting, doing anything with your wrist. I don't get it. I don't understand. It seems like everything in Leafland is so laid back. Like a lot of teams would be just scalding their player if they did this, waiting until this time, this training camp and everything. I don't understand it one bit.
Yeah, it's, Leafland is just, it's a curious land. I think it's like Wonderland. You never know what's going to happen, and the rides are up and down. So,
I'd be seriously worried if I was a Leaf fan, because he had shoulder injury a couple of years ago. It seems to be a common theme with him. And I know he's a big boy. He doesn't use his body that much, but it's a bad sign if a guy's getting hurt at his age constantly every year.
Right. So we have, there is one comment in the lounge today. Jules is, she's saying, love the slap shot, the like button banner. So there you go. Again, if you want to become a lounge member, Hockey Lounge member, hit that subscribe button below. And if you like the show tonight, take a slap shot at the like button and have fun with that. Definitely love all the viewers watching. Our show last Wednesday went really, really well. Friday, we're just keeping you guys updated with what's happening in the National Hockey League. So having fun with this. Again, on Wednesday, we're going to go live. We're going to dissect the Central Division with the offensive moves. Let's just talk about Jack Eichel. I posted it on the Hockey Lounge Instagram page today. There is a billboard outside the Sabres Arena saying #free Jack. What are your thoughts on that?
It's hilarious. I don't know if it's Sabres fans trying to hurry up and push him out the door to get something back and end this saga, because they're probably tired of it just as much as the rest of the fans of all the other teams are tired of it. I think it's hilarious. For somebody to just spend their own money just for that, it's hilarious.
It's almost getting out of hand where, you have different things about different teams. I remember I was in Ottawa a couple of years ago, and Eugene Melnyk was just going off his rocker saying ridiculous things in the media, and I was in the liquor store, and they actually had like this beer that like was saying fire Eugene Melnyk. Like it was like, I love these cities where they come up with this stuff, but how crazy it is that you're captain of your hockey team, there's a billboard with a #free this guy. Like, it's pretty sad if you're a Sabres fan as well.
100%. He's supposed to be the leader of the team, face of the franchise, and for the fan base, they look like they've given up on him. They really don't care. They just want it over with. Yeah. It's a sad state in Buffalo again.
Again. Like App has been saying, #shit Chicago Blackhawks. We're going to say #shit the Buffalo Sabres.
Shit Buffalo.
All right, so that's your daily wrap-up for August 16th, 2021. It's been great going live tonight with you guys. Just wanted to give you a quick wrap-up. We will see you for a longer show on Wednesday, 9 p.m., Central Division Talk. Have a great night. We will see you Wednesday. If something breaks tomorrow, that's something big, #shit. we will be there to break it down. Have a great night. Again, thanks for watching the Hockey Lounge. Stay safe. See you next time.
Night.